So just to share a personal insight today on workplace community. And I'm going to go all the way back to, are you ready? 1996. Yes, I'm that old. So this was my first professional workplace. I worked as a lifeguard in a public leisure facility in the UK. But to this day, it is one of the best examples to me of how to create and then how to break a culture that really sort of thrived on being an effective community. So essentially, the before and after story that, when I joined, there was this really consistent, passionate, very highly devoted crew who really showed up in a very consistent way, taking work seriously because they're there to save lives, but also being very playful in the way that they interacted with each other, always respectful, but that really sort of right balance between, sort of fun and, sort of getting the work done. And there was a strong alignment around key values, a lot of which were unwritten and not necessarily explicitly spoken, but everybody knew essentially what was expected, how to behave, and what the benefits and the outcomes really, around saving lives of, sharing those meanings and that value system was. And it was one of the best work cultures that, again, to date I've ever experienced, until some of the leaders changed. And what was curious to me, and is still curious about this, is those leaders were promoted out of that group. But what happened was that in that elevation, they in some way became disconnected from the community, and the sense of belonging fragmented. And very, very quickly, especially as new members of staff came into the organisation, there was not that shared meaning. That sense of belonging became more and more essentially non-existent, and this classic them and us culture was created, and it very, very quickly destroyed the positive culture that was there previously. Performance dropped. Surprise, surprise, incidents went up, which is, when you're in a pool environment, really not good news. And the whole thing, sort of didn't get any better. And even though that was, now quite a while ago, I still reflect back on that time, me as a young person, finishing high school, moving to uni where I was studying organisational behaviour. Even then I was recognising what was happening, but at that point in time I was unable to influence it. But there you have it. A real life, old world example, but a poignant one, I hope, about the really crucial element of that sense of belonging and having a community-like culture in an organisation to drive efficiency and performance.